I'll go to Jody. Will you treat local government like a business or a nonprofit organization?
I would like to answer that question simply by saying I would definitely treat it as a business. Nonprofit organization, a 501(c)(3) runs under some different rules and regulations instead of a standard operating business. And a standard operating business, and I'm sure some of your businessmen here, it boils down to assets and debits. Your assets better outweigh your debits. You get things backwards and things don't look real well. Yes, it has to be operated as a business. You have to set the budget. You have to understand what your expenditures are going to be. You have to understand what your assets, what your revenue is going to be. It has to be that way. And to answer the question, I would operate it as a business, but in that budgeted environment, you're presented two options. You're presented the option of increasing your revenue coming into your county. That's done by taxes. It's done by sales taxes. It's done by ad valorem taxes. That's where that comes from. Or you can either increase your revenue or you can decrease your expenditures, assets and debits. I am on the decrease expenditure side every time. I am not the guy to raise your taxes. It's been done before, and it happens sometimes because it's out of your control. But where I stand in that situation is it's not the government's job, whether that be local, state, or federal, to tell you where to spend your money. If you want to spend your money on your local government, you can do that. If we want to operate this as a business, let's put money back in your pocket. Your money in your pocket, let you stimulate the economy, start spending your money where you want to spend your money, and the local government here at the county level can operate as a business. We'll monitor the assets, we'll monitor the debits, we'll keep things in check, and we'll try to do everything we can to leave your tax rate alone.
Percy, will you treat local government like a business or like a nonprofit organization?
I would treat this as a business because we have a lot of taxes. And I know I'm freezing up here. Y'all bear with me. Thank you. The taxes is the big thing, and like Jody referred earlier, this is definitely a business. It's not a nonprofit, and that's just the way I would handle it.
If you are elected, what is your first priority for Precinct 4? Mr. Crump.
That's my question. I'm sorry. Could you read that again?
If you are elected, what is your first priority for Precinct 4?
My first priority, in fact, I had some conversation about this the other day. My first priority, it fits under a very large umbrella, but that umbrella to me consists of expenditures at the county level. And I base that back on the same thing. You hear me talk a lot about taxes, and you hear me talk a lot about expenditures. I have a problem with that because I've asked a lot of people a lot of questions, this same question many times. I've talked knocking doors out there. I asked them the question, how much money does the county have? And you get all kind of answers to that all across the spectrum. But the reality of the situation is the county doesn't have any money. The county's got your money. That's the thing, that we're spending that money every day out there. And what I'm concerned about is that in deep Southeast Texas vernacular, we need the best bang for our buck there is out there. And if we're spending that tax money is coming in because you don't have an option. When the county levies that tax against you, you're going to pay that tax. And when you pay that tax, it's beyond your control then. It needs to be, it's in the hand of your elected officials. So what we need to do is, my first goal is to monitor, look at, and question the expenditures to make sure that all the taxpayers of Orange County, Precinct 1, 2, 3, and 4, equitable and across the board, that it's getting taken care of and that money's being spent where it needs to be. So to answer the question, expenditures. That's my first priority.
Thank you. Mr. Flanigan, if you are elected, what is your first priority for Precinct 4?
My first priority is to bridge the gap between the people and be available to the people here in Precinct 4. I feel that we have been a lack on that, the communications the open line not being available for the citizens to voice their complaints or get anything done over here in this area, that's going to be one of my first priorities if elected as Commissioner of Precinct 4.
Thank you. Mr. Flanigan, the next question is, what is your educational background?
Graduated from Bader High School, 1983. 12 years.
Okay. Mr. Crump, what is your educational background?
1979, graduated Bader High School. Somewhere in the middle of the class. I don't remember exactly what it was. That was a few years ago now. Yeah, this is very personal. 1979, graduated Bader High School. Started Lamar University, attended Lamar University, and graduated in 1984, 1985. Lamar University with an associate degree of machine tool technology and applied science. Graduated out of that with a 3.985 average, I believe, the highest honors. Since then, I've attended metallurgy classes, advanced metallurgy classes at Lamar University, and since that time went back approximately 9 months ago, a year ago, and attended small business development classes, just independently, just continued education. That's my education.
Okay, thank you. Do you plan to continue working your regular job and serve as a commissioner at a salary of $64,000 a year? The second part of the question is, can you work for the people of Orange County and not the employees?
First part of the question is no, I don't. Excuse me, go back to the first part, please.
Okay. Realizing that the county judge draws a salary of $93,440 and also works as a pharmacist, do you plan to continue working your regular job and serve as a commissioner at a salary of $64,000 a year?
The answer to that question is no, ma'am, I will not. This job that I have right now, I'll have to retire from it to step into the office as Commissioner of Precinct 4.
Okay. And the second part of the question was, can you work for the people of Orange County and not the employees?
Yes, ma'am, I can. And that is what my intentions are to do. Having a voice and working for the people at Precinct 4.
Thank you. Okay. Jody, would you like me to read this two-part question again?
No, that's okay.
Okay.
As far as working for the county as county commissioner, would I keep my business open? I would probably keep my business open simply based on this. I do a lot of work for widows. I do a lot of work for homebound people. I have a lot of those people that I work for. I love what I do. It gives me the ability to go back into those homes and to help those people again. It gets that level of satisfaction thing that I look for again. But would I close my business? I probably would not. Would I scale my business back by probably 80 or 90%? Yes. Yes. I couldn't take on the bigger jobs that I do now. I wouldn't take those. I wouldn't even quote. I wouldn't even bid the jobs. Because my primary function, if I'm elected by the electorate of Precinct 4, is to serve as County Commissioner of Precinct 4. That's my job. That's my breadwinning job. That's where my heart, my soul has to be. That's what I will do. But yes, I wouldn't lie to you. I would probably keep my business open to serve those people that I've had clients for many, many years. And the second part of the question was, would I work for the employees or would I work for the voters?
That's right.
Yes. That's that question is actually, it angers me. Not based on anything about me, but based off of that gentleman sitting in that chair right there and this gentleman sitting in this chair right here. No. No. I wouldn't work for the county employees of Orange County. No. When you're elected as a city, you're elected as an official, you work for the people. That's your job. That's your primary function, to work for those people. If it starts to get into politics, it starts to get into a lot of that backbiting, rumor mongering, and that type of thing like that, that's got to be stopped. At whatever level that it starts, it's got to be stopped. I don't care if it starts at the top, it's got to be stopped. If it starts at the bottom, it's got to be stopped. Elected officials do not work for the county employees. It's wrong morally, it's wrong ethically, and it's probably wrong legally somewhere. I don't really know. I'd have to check the state statutes. But would I be willing to work for the people? Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Flanigan, how do you feel about the matrix system?
There again, that's going to be another tough one for me because I'm a working man. I don't agree with it to a certain extent, and I'll give an instance. That one is with the sheriff's department. When the sheriff transported, or when he got elected as commissioner, excuse me, as a sheriff, I felt that he should have been able to bring his time as constable over to the sheriff's department. He did not change positions. He was still in the same enforcement. He was in law enforcement. He just stepped up to a higher position. I felt that he should have been able to bring his time with him, and they did not do that for that man, and I thought that that was wrong. So I'm not real for that position on the matrix.
Thank you. Mr. Crump, how do you feel about the matrix system?
Just for a brief FYI, I'm not sure if everyone's aware of how the matrix system was set up. Several years ago, the county convened a panel of different dignitaries, attorneys, lawyers, county positions, just regular citizens. Convened this panel and said, do the analysis. I want to know what's out there. What they were commissioned and charged to do was to find out what counties of our size, our population, our demographic, our economic level, they were commissioned to find out what those counties paid their county elected officials, the judge, the sheriff, and their county commissioners. That panel was convened together, did all of the research, came back with that research, compiled it together, and presented it to the county commissioner's court. The county commissioner's court looked at it, and it was set up as a first term, second term, third term, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. And it said, this is your first term as a judge, this is what you get paid. First term as a sheriff, this is what you get paid. First term as a county commissioner, this is what you get paid. And it escalated there up per your terms. It was presented to the county did the analysis, looked at it, checked it, and voted on the commissioner's court and said, okay, we approve that. I agree with the pay matrix system because of this. It eliminates all discretion. It's not the system of, okay, I like this guy and he needs to do this, or I like this guy, he needs to do that. If the pay matrix is put in place, right, wrong, or indifferent, it's now accepted and voted on by the county commissioner's court. It needs to be stuck to, it needs to be applied fair and equitably across the board. And yes, that was a problem. As far as sticking with that, I know that a first-term county commissioner pays $63,000 a year. If that's not enough for me, then I need to roll up my sleeping bag and go home. I don't think it's my position to get into that, to run for an elected position, win an elected position, and possibly use that power, that clout to try to change the pay matrix system. That's not my job. My job is to adhere to what's out there. That pay matrix was voted on by the commissioner's court, and I think it should stand.
Thank you.